Hello everyone! If you're watching this video on the day it was posted on YouTube, today is Amtrak's 55th anniversary. Just 5 years ago, the company celebrated its 50th anniversary by painting 5 P-42 locomotives and 1 ALC-42 Charger unit into special commemorative paint schemes. These anniversary units, as Amtrak calls them, paid tribute to past liveries, the history of Amtrak, and all Amtrak employees. Since I never did a full video on the Amtrak 50th anniversary locomotive fleet, I'd like to go through all 6 of these special locomotives and then take a look at them in action pulling Amtrak trains all over the US. We'll start off with ALC-42 locomotive number 301. Charger locomotive 301, my personal favorite, was given an all-black scheme with an Amtrak Blue Arrow logo that wraps around the nose of the unit. This scheme replicates a design applied to former Penn Central E Unit number 4316. The 4316 was given a quick Amtrak paint job for press photos for Amtrak's May 1st, 1971 debut of service, thus becoming the first locomotive to be painted for Amtrak. Amtrak has called this special scheme the Day 1 livery. As a nod to this unique history, as well as the new ALC-42 locomotives beginning another chapter in the company's history, Amtrak specifically selected Charger locomotive 301 to wear the Day 1 scheme, as it was involved with many of the initial tests for the ALC-42 units. Another bold paint scheme was applied to P-42DC locomotive number 160. The 160 received a very unique design that Amtrak refers to as Dash 8 Phase 3. When Amtrak's Dash 8 locomotives were first ordered, the company wanted a flashy new eye-catching design. Darker shades of red and blue were selected in comparison to the standard Phase 3 livery that was applied to the F-40 locomotives of the time. A new line pattern was also chosen to better hide the more boxy look of the Dash 8 locomotive body. This award-winning paint scheme has long been a fan favorite, so Amtrak made the decision to bring the scheme back for the first time in over 2 decades. Amtrak P-42 number 108 features another colorful paint scheme design, the early ALC-42 Charger locomotive transition scheme known as Phase 6. This scheme features a mostly blue body with red on the nose and roof. A large Amtrak 50th anniversary logo adorns the midsections of the locomotive on each side. Amtrak cars first started receiving Phase 6 striping in the early 2000s, shortly after the last P-42 locomotives had been delivered in Phase 5. Since the P-42 fleet already had recent coats of paint at the time, no Phase 6 was initially developed for the locomotives. As part of the initial ALC-42 order, 8 units were given a special Phase 6 paint job to finally bring this scheme to life on locomotives prior to the introduction of the current Phase 7 livery. This livery was adapted to Locomotive 108, making it the only P-42 to receive this scheme. Rather than adapting another paint scheme, Locomotive 100 features an all-new, one-of-a-kind livery. This P-42 wears a scheme referred to as Midnight Blue. The entire body of the unit is painted in dark blue with some added white pinstriping. The words, "Connecting America for 50 Years" are featured in large red and white letters on the sides of the locomotive. According to Amtrak, this livery is intended to pay tribute to all of Amtrak's employees for moving people all across the US at all hours of the day and night. Amtrak 161 was given an adaptation of the Phase 1 livery with a bright red nose, silver sides, a black roof, and the Amtrak Arrow logo. It is the second P-42 unit to receive an adaptation of Phase 1. This paint scheme was first applied to Amtrak equipment in 1972. In addition to all of these locomotives, Amtrak also applied a fresh coat of Phase 5 blue and silver paint to P-42 number 46, as well as a special 50th anniversary insignia. Phase 5 was first introduced to the P-42 fleet in 2000. Now, let's head trackside to see these locomotives all over the Amtrak system. Happy 55th anniversary, Amtrak! Thanks for joining me for this look at Amtrak's newest fleet of anniversary locomotives. Which one is your favorite? Post a comment and let me know. As always, a special thanks to all my supporters on Patreon. If you would like notifications whenever I post to YouTube, click on the subscribe button and select the Receive All Notifications option. I'll be back next Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time for a brand new railroading adventure right here on the YouTube channel. That's it for now. Until next time, I'm Mike Armstrong. I'll see you down the line. Thanks for watching.